Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 252 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and I want to address a question that I get surprisingly asked a lot, which is, what is the secret to my arms? How did I build my arms? And, it really comes as a surprise to me because I've never done really any arm days, especially not consistently, and I considered them a weak point until, I met a bodybuilder in Japan, and I asked her, like, can you judge my physique? And she also mentioned, like, yeah, your arms are your strong point, your chest is weak, your arms are strong. That's what she said. And, in the comments, I get people asking me as well, and I'm like, well, I don't even build my arms. How am I supposed to answer this? But I've been thinking, and well, especially during the bulk or during this bulk as well, but actually throughout my entire training career of 9 years, 90% of my training has been planche and front lever. Now, in the planche, right, when you're in the straight arm position, you're holding the position, you're not only targeting your shoulders, you're also targeting your biceps. In the front lever, when you hold the position, right, you're not only targeting your lats and your rear delts, you're also targeting your triceps. In these straight arm positions, not when you pull up or push up, not in those times. In the times where you have straight arms and you're like pressing to a planche or pressing to a handstand, coming back into the planche, or you're doing a front lever press, in those positions you're also training your arms, and that's basically how I built mine. And is that the only way? Is that the most efficient way? Of course not, but the question is, how did I build my arms? Well, that's it. And I think if you want to go like a bit of plus alpha on that, I guess plus alpha in Japanese, but it's like if you want to go to an even higher extreme, in calisthenics, there's also the basic movements, like just a chin up or a dip, right? And if you do the chin up and the dip and you go heavy on those, or you build volume on those, you're gonna build your arms as well. And I think maybe the best of all you can do is to have a bit of a combination, So you do skills, and I would say skills mainly, and then you also do some of those dips and pull-ups on the side, and you're just gonna build a physique. Of course, it's not only gonna be arms, but your arms are gonna be built. That's what I can say for sure, or at least from experience. So there is the answer, planche and front lever. What a surprise. But anyway, today's training is gonna be pull, yes, front lever again, of course. And I'm gonna do it a bit different. I'm not gonna do 5 sets of pull-ups today. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do a bit of a pyramid style or an ascending style, where I will do the 1-1-1 set or the XXX set. You might recognize this from Valentin Callis with the planche, where he does 5 push-ups, for example, and then 5 presses and 5 seconds of hold. I'm gonna do the same with front lever, but I'm just gonna start at 1-1-1, and I'm gonna do 2-2-2, 3-3-3, and so on, basically until I fail, and then I'll move on to the next exercise. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the reason I'm doing this kind of training where I like jump up in sit intensity every time is because, well, I've been stuck trying to progress in the front lever a little bit lately with the pull-ups, just the 5 sets of 9 pull-ups or 8 pull-ups. And when you get stuck at something, when you have a certain training and you keep using it but you're not progressing, it's like baking a cake, getting a shitty result, and then doing it again with the same recipe and expecting a better cake. So I just want to do something different, get a different stimulus in my body, and this way, I can gradually go up in intensity. I'll be able to find the sweet spot of, what's right for me. Because let's say I do an entirely new training, I don't really know how I'm gonna do. So if I jump right into like insanely difficult sets, I might be overestimating myself. Like yesterday, I thought I was gonna be able to do 10 sets of 10 reps for dips, but I was only able to do 5 sets. And to prevent that, I'm going to go from very easy sets all the way to more difficult sets until I fail, basically. So, yeah, I'll probably do this for like today and then maybe the next time. And then after that, I'm guessing I'll just be strong enough to like keep progressing on the original training, of 5 sets, X amount of pull-ups. But yeah, sometimes you just need to spice things up. So let's go. Alright, during these easier sets, I'm trying to fix my form. I am not succeeding tremendously, but I think I have to engage my lower back more in order to, have a more horizontal line. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, that was the limit. Okay, so a quick guess of mine is that this is my limit. I'm not gonna be able to do 777, but quite satisfied with this. My back is just pumped as fuck. And what I'm gonna do now is some hold and press sets, These are the sets where my arms are straight the entire time. These will not only work my back and my rear delts, they will also work my triceps, So I guess this is the way I build my arms, by doing front lever holds, or at least my tricep front lever holds, front lever presses. I think, yeah, a couple sets, maybe 2 or 3 of, I hope, at least 20 seconds of duration, not 20 seconds of hold, but of duration. Because when you have these longer sets in the front lever, I just find that they completely pump you up to shit, Your back, of course, but also your tricep, if you think about it. Like when I do a front lever workout, oftentimes the next day my triceps are tired as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that now, get my back pumped as shit before moving on to the last exercise, which is gonna be pull-ups, So let's go. Alright, so frontlever work is done. The posing as well, quite happy with it. I feel like I'm finally starting to notice that I got just a little bit bigger, so very happy with that. And now that puts me in a good mood to do some pull-ups. Now, for me, I care about strength, I care about getting my exercises strong, frontlever, planche, now the pull-up. And I don't really care about which muscles they hit. But if you want to train for a specific muscle, for example, you want to get your arm bigger, obviously do chin-ups instead of pull-ups, because the only thing you really have to think about in order to get a muscle bigger is to get it stronger. So you want bigger biceps, get your biceps stronger. You do that by doing chin-ups, you do that by doing bicep curls. You can even do that by doing a planche. You want bigger triceps, do some dips, do some diamond push-ups, for example, do everything that makes your triceps stronger. So yeah, enough of that. I'm gonna do only one set today because I kind of like to, take the frontlever and the planche as my main exercises, and then from time to time I'll incorporate pull-ups as well to get strong at those as well. But I don't really do a lot of sets. Most of the time, it's just like one or like a couple of sets, hard sets that allow me to get a stimulus on the exercise, but nothing really more than that because I've built general strength already through frontlever and planche. And now I only need, I need a small amount to carry over that strength into other exercises. But yeah, pull up 20 kilos. Last time I got 17. Let's get 20 today. Holy shit. 21. 21. Fuck off. Alright, so that's it for today's training. And, people might be disappointed at the answer of how I built my Okie dokie, so that's it for today's workout, and people might be disappointed at how I built my arms or the answer regarding that. Like maybe you don't want to do planche or frontlever, but it's not it's not about the exercises, It's about 4 simple rules, which is train hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. It's the Master Roshi way of training, right? And whatever you want to do in training, whether it's building bigger biceps or building a stronger back or getting more endurance, right? These 4 rules apply. You train hard, so if you want bigger biceps, you pick a strength exercise that targets your biceps, right? Whether it's a curl or the planche or a chin-up, right? As long as your bicep is tired at the end of it, you're fine. So you train hard, right? And then you study well. You see, well, what exercises should I do that target my biceps? When is my bicep the most sore, right? You study that, and then you apply what works. After that, train hard, study well, eat. You have to eat. If you want to get bigger arms, you want to put on muscle, you have to eat good food and you have to eat enough of it. And then you have to sleep as well, Train hard, study well, eat and sleep plenty. Sleeping is important. You have to recover because you don't get bigger arms during your workout. You don't get stronger arms during your workout. During your workout, you're breaking everything down, right? You're making your arms weaker. And then after that, your body's like, oh fuck, my body has been destroyed, I have to repair it. And then it repairs your body and it becomes stronger. So as long as you're doing those 4 things, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, right, you're gonna head towards it. You're gonna make progress, no matter what exercise you pick. But for me, it was the planche, it was the frontlever, and every now and then a little sprinkle of push-ups or dips or pull-ups or whatever, right? So that's it for today's training. I'm gonna have a shower and some breakfast for lunch, I guess, because it's already noon. But regardless, I'll see you tomorrow for leg day.